Hi everyone and welcome back to the Harness channel. In today's video, we are going to try to answer a simple question. How difficult and how much configuration is required to set up database migration in CI/CD? So for this video, we are going to test Flyway, Liquibase locally, then we'll use Jenkins to deploy, and then at the last, we'll see how Harness DBDevOps looks like. So I have this Liquibase changelog file in which I have different contexts. Cloud SQL PG is the one that we are going with this demo. So let me try and show you how my current state looks like. So since this is a fresh instance, I do not have anything yet in my deployment. So we can see it results no change set deploy. So another feature of Liquibase is using tags. We can apply tags before and after we deploy. Since we are going to deploy right now, and if anything goes wrong, we should be aware and we can roll back. So for that purpose, let's first deploy our tag. So right now to my current state of database, I'm going to deploy a tag that's called v0.0.1. So we can see the tags were successfully applied to our current. Now, if we check our history, we can see our initial deployment, which was by the Liquibase internal, and Liquibase was the author with the tag this one. Now let's go ahead and apply our actual schema migrations. So Liquibase have identified the context or the context Cloud SQL PG and have picked only those 4 out of 16 and applied those. Now let me tag a new version to our database, which will be post our deployment. So for example, it could be v0.0.2. Let's see how our history looks like right now. So we can see there are 2 different deployment that have happened with 2 different deployment IDs. One has a tag which was our initial database instance with version v0.0.1, and the latest one, that's the current database state, which has v0.0.2. Now tags are very important because if something goes wrong or maybe by chance a bad schema have been applied unknowingly, I can roll back immediately, fix it, and then apply the new changes as soon as possible. So let's check how Flyway works. First of all, we need a Flyway configuration that's in a TOML format. I have my environment variables defined for the database URL, user, password, and default schema where my migrations will be applied and where my migrations are. Since my migrations are under the folder migrations, that's why I have identified file system migrations as my path. So now let's run Flyway migrate command. But since we are running on a public schema and there was already a public schema existing due to Liquibase for adding tag, we need to set a baseline as well. So we'll run Flyway baseline on migrate true and then run the migration command. So we can see it identified 18 migrations. Those include our undo migrations as well as the versioning migration. So for example, let's take a look at v4004. So it's a simple Postgres creation. It creates ID, name, and description. And similarly, we have u004, which will drop that table because that's how it identifies which ones to run, what order is it, and how we can do so. So similar to how we have history command in Liquibase, we have Flyway info, which tells us what have been deployed and how our database state is looking right now. So right now I'm using Flyway Community Edition, that's 12.6.2 read by Redkit, and we can see the schema versions which have been applied. Since we used baseline on migrate true, that's why we can see version baseline as well as the SQL types. And is it undoable? Yes. So let's try and see if we can undo our changes. Since I'm on a Liquibase Community Edition, it does not allow me to roll back. So I have to be very careful on what changes we are applying because there is no chance to revert it back. And that's the reality of manual DB deployments. The migration works, the database changes, looked everything fine. But as an engineer or a developer, there was a lot of things that I had to remember. Whether the connection strings are working fine, credentials are correct or not, validation commands are correct or not, environment details, the contexts are fine, the rollback tags and everything is working fine or not, For Liquibase, I had to also think about managing proper context for across the deployment process. And this was heavily depending on my memory. Now let's try to run these migrations via CI/CD. So let's move to Jenkins. Now I have created a Jenkins Liquibase file and Jenkins Flyway file respectively. And it was very painful to set up. First, I have to identify the environment, contexts, dry run, governance, and DB such thing. I had to create the governance policy enabler and the shell script manually, thinking about all the edge cases as much as possible. And then I had to code it down. So the whole file took around 200, 300 lines of code, which I had to validate first combinedly, and then I had to make sure that these are working fine. So if we look at the Jenkins Liquibase file, we are first verifying whether the Flyway or the Liquibase respectively are installed properly, the proper versions are installed or not, if the versions are found or not, the changelog file path is found or not. Then we check whether it's able to connect to the database or not, that if the database exists or not. Then we run our Python validation YAML if the changelogs are as expected or if there is an issue. I then have to check for if the governance step is enabled or not, which creates a lot of hassle in not just the configuration overhead, but also in the maintenance. And when I ran in my pipeline, first let's see on the Liquibase, I had to configure it for a very long time. I had to run it multiple times, and finally the last version worked. But before the last successful deployment, there were a lot of issues which were related to the shell script not working, the governance not working properly, the permissions to run Liquibase and Flyway were denied. Sometimes even the installation didn't work in the CI/CD, so there was no Flyway or Liquibase in, and I had to rerun the pipeline and everything back again. In case of Liquibase as well, the same errors were there. So when finally everything worked, I know, okay, everything is working fine. But this took me more than hour and two to just test it out. And building and setting this up took an additional effort. So how does this look like in Harness Database DevOps? Let me first showcase you how the pipeline looks like. So I have a pipeline which deploys my Liquibase migration, and it was very easy and intuitive to do so. So I needed to add a step which is already present, that's apply schema and rollback schema respectively. I selected the migration type to be Liquibase, had my DB schema and DB instances in the place. So DB schema has my all the changelog configs in Git, and that is what been tested. Authoring DB instance, I do not have to manually do anything. This is a JDBC connector that I already tested it with and added my instance to it. I was able to add the tag for that specific run directly. I can even use expressions so that the tags are unique each time my pipeline is running. Then I have harness approval step. Just in case anything goes wrong, the rollback can be applied automatically. So if my approval is rejected, if I find any inconsistency, I can reject the approval step and Liquibase will roll back those things. Similarly, in my Flyway migration, I have my Flyway migration type, Flyway DB schema, and the instances. And in rollback, I have defined to roll back to which specific option. Now, this is very interesting because Flyway Community Edition did not let us do, whereas the same thing is allowed in Harness Database DevOps without additional pay and such. So let me approve one of the pipeline which is waiting for us. And meanwhile, let us trigger our Flyway migrations as well. So if I do an approval which looks good to me or good, or just do a manual approval, we can see that rollback migrations are skipped because the conditions were not fulfilled and my actions were to approve. Now in Flyway, let's try. So we can see the changes were imported now. It's in a preview version. So now apply schema have passed successfully. Now if I have to show you how the pipelines look like in both Jenkins. So this is how a simple Liquibase migration file looks like in Harness. We have our policy enforcing set, so we don't have to write custom shell scripts to manage those things, check for everything. Once we have identified which policy to enforce on, so it is automatically checked at the apply step. And building a policy is also very easy using Harness AI policy creation. And now let's compare the simple file. So right now we have a file under 100 lines for the deployment, and same if we check in the Jenkins pipeline example that we had. it was over 300 files, close to 400. So we have to make sure that this is up and always correct. Otherwise, our pipeline or a crucial step may be missed. Thank you, everyone. You can find all the Liquibase Flyway configurations in the description below. I hope you enjoyed it and you got to learn something new. Thank you.